Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to send emails in Android and iOS with Ionic framework. Now, a thing to note is that in order to send emails using this tutorial, you're going to need to have an email account set up on either your Android or iOS device, because this tutorial shows you how to use the native email client that comes with your device. So, let's start by creating a new Ionic framework project. Now that we've got our project created, let's go ahead and add the Android platform. Now, if I were on a Mac, I'd be adding the iOS platform as well, but because I'm on Ubuntu Linux, I'm not able to work with iOS projects. But this tutorial is completely compatible with iOS, so if you're on a Mac, don't hesitate to add the iOS platform as well. So let's navigate into our project here. Oh, you know what? Let's first download the Mail Composer plugin that we're going to be using. So this is the open source Email Composer plugin, which I'm going to include in a write-up, so there's no worry on obtaining it. Let's go ahead and install it into our application. Alright, it's all installed and ready to go for Android. So let's navigate into our project directory, www, JavaScript, and then app.js. What we're going to do is we're going to create a controller that activates the mail client on button press. So let's change a few things first. Alright, so now that we've got our controller, let's go ahead and add a function. So what I did here is I'm first checking to see if the Email Composer plugin exists. You cannot use Apache Cordova plugins in your web browser. So if you try to install the Email Composer and use it and launch it in your web browser, you're only going to receive errors. So this kind of gets rid of any possibility of errors, because it's first going to check to make sure that it exists. So let's go ahead and use the Email Composer plugin right now. So what this is the success callback. Next, what we need to do is we need to set up our default values inside of our email client. The first parameter is your subject. The second parameter is your body, which I'm going to leave blank because I don't want to pre-populate the email body. I'm going to let them type it in themselves. The third field is your to, and it's actually an array. because you can send it to however many people you want. The next field is your CC, so I'm not going to send a CC. And then you have your BCC, both of which are arrays, just like your to field. And then we're going to determine if this email is HTML. So it's a Boolean value, so if we're not including HTML, we're going to say false. And then the next two fields have to do with attachments, and since we're not going to be including an attachment, we're going to make both of them null. So let's go ahead and save this. Now we're going to go and we're going to open up our index.html file. And to keep things simple, I'm just going to add a button. And we're going to make sure that we have our controller included. With that included, we can add an ng click. So let's go ahead and try to compile it and run it. And again, if you're using iOS, you can just build it for iOS as well. I'm on Ubuntu, so I can't. So it compiled successfully, so let's go ahead and install it. Alright, so if we click send message, nothing's going to happen because we don't have an email client installed. So let's validate this idea. Yeah. So unable to send email because we don't have the client installed. But if you were to have email set up on your device, it would just launch your default mail client, and it would pre-populate it with a subject and who it's going to be sent to. Everything else will be blank. You can go ahead and find a write-up of this tutorial on my weblog, which I'm including in a link in the description of this particular video. If you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well as my weblog, because I have a lot more great videos coming. Thank you.